Hello everyone, welcome to Harv's World where we are back in the Hollow. And the map's loading pretty choppy this morning, so hopefully this will all smooth out, but the way things have been going lately, I don't have a lot of hope. And I've got almost a 70 millisecond ping right now. That's not good either. Caveman's having internet problems. The only one who's stable at the moment is Sharko, if you can believe that. Sharko's the stable one.
It is actually true.
Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Still really hard to believe.
Right?
Hello, everyone.
We've got Eric Kuntz, Lifehawk, Graham Pierce, Mr. E. Hello, Mr. E. Atomic Sneeze, Sparky. One of our newest members of the Green Machine, Sparky, joined up, sent me a message yesterday to let me know he was now a member. That's very awesome. Kevin, of course, the indomitable Kevin. Fun Boy, and Jordan the Canadian Kid. Hopefully today we can accomplish a few things, or just die trying. I'm voting for the latter. The former sounds way too optimistic at this point, especially with this horrible ping.
I remember you told me you had deleted your shaders cache.
Yep.
It's got to rebuild itself.
Well, but I was on for maybe half an hour after that.
Okay, it should have rebuilt itself by now then.
That's
Okay.
what I would expect.
Yeah, it takes about 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
So I'm assuming it's all the pallets.
On
Oh.
a potato, it takes 5 to 10 minutes.
I'll bet it is the pallets, actually. And did you guys see that we're now limited to 100 pallets on the map at a time?
No.
Yes. Even PC. And apparently, people were quite annoyed by that little factoid. Because I think consoles were limited to 50. Are limited to 50, and Giant said, "We've heard what you have to say, and we will correct that in a future patch." So it's not something they're going to address immediately. They're like, deal with it. Which seems to be Giant's general overall attitude these days anyway, so...
Well, they did one good thing of everything else.
And that is...
They showed how to add precision farming to maps.
That's true. Sharko is working on a top secret map project right now. He's actually learning a lot in a short amount of time, and unlike him, he's actually staying focused on it.
I am staying focused on it.
And I only say that because he knows he knows how easily distracted he can get on some things sometimes. Well, that's 150,000, and we're only half a trailer unloaded here, so come on, brother.
I mean, there's also another mod in the works.
Another mod?
Well, the one between Caveman and I.
Oh yeah, the collaborative mod. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's gonna be
I
fun.
don't want to spoil it.
Oh,
Don't want
yeah.
to spoil it.
You guys are gonna love this if they ever get it done. It's pretty spectacular, I have to admit. It was a brilliant idea that makes a whole lot of sense. When you see it, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we're almost done selling.
Gosh, the lag I'm getting right now.
There we go. That was what,
there we go.
$350,000 worth of products. Oh, and look at my lag clear up all of a sudden.
Yep, it was the pallet.
It
It
was
was
all the pallets.
It was the bloody pallets. Yeah, we got more people dropping in. Let's see. David Smith, Glenda, how you both doing? We have got Bruce Salter. And of course Sparky's in, so we've got a lot of hashtag blame Sharkos or hashtag BSC. James, how you doing, bud? Andrew Devney, Paul Tunks, Mr. E. I'm about to step into sugar. Would you recommend sugar beets or cane? Which is Mr. E. To be honest, you need to be doing both. You need to be doing both because the more inputs you have in your sugar mill, the faster it's going to produce sugar. So it doesn't pick and choose. You've got three options for inputs on a sugar mill: sugar beets, cut sugar beets, and sugar cane. If you can get all three in there, you're going to produce the highest level of sugar. But if you don't want to, then I would recommend sugar beets, because then at least you can get 2 inputs in, cut sugar beets and regular sugar beets. And that will at least have your factory performing at 2/3 output as opposed to just the sugarcane output.
And planting sugar beets is a lot easier.
I just about pulled a Sharko here, and I don't know why, because all of a sudden there's a glitch in this bridge. I hit something and it totally bashed me off the bridge.
We lost Caveman.
Yep. And like I said, Caveman's connection has been really sketchy all week long, so he could end up being just sort of in and out, or out and completely out. 30 acres between 2 fields, going to run beets and cane. Yeah, that's a good idea. Plus it gives you the opportunity, if you've never done them before, it gives you an opportunity to discover just what a pain in the neck sugarcane can be. And if you don't have it, I strongly recommend, if you're on PC anyway, in the Discord, you can get the link to Caveman's modded sugar beet sugarcane harvester, the Root Crops Plus pack that he created, that makes sugar beets and sugarcane quite a bit easier.
And if you don't have that, the best option is actually to get the pull-behind tractor, not the self-propelled one.
For sugarcane.
Yeah, for sugarcane, because the fact that it's actually twice as fast as the self-propelled, and the self-propelled, it may be double, but you can have a trailer behind the one behind the tractor.
Right, and if you're doing it by yourself.
Yeah, or you can hire workers too with the pull-behind. I mean, they don't do as good of a job, but they can help.
Okay, that's that for now. Now we get to go spin bunny. That's one of my favorite things to do. And I'm actually going to drive over to what we're doing just so we can see. Mr. Oxendine, thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you very, very much.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sugar for wine production. That's interesting. Very interesting.
Oh, that is.
Dookie Shoes. Dookie Shoes is also one of the new members of the Green Machine. Thank you so much, Dookie, for joining us today, or joining up. Outdoor Corey, how's it going, bud? Yep, it looks like we're going to be okay today. Maybe. Knock on wood.
Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
At least the two of us.
Caveman's trying to get back in.
It's kind of funny. It told me the server shut down. Now I'm sitting at the synchronizing data with other players' screen.
I saw there was a patch on Mod Hub this week too for that that factories problem. The one where factories will take whatever you give them, but then they don't empty.
Yes.
Oh, nice mystery.
Hopefully
Very nice.
works.
Okay. So we threw around some ideas today. That's right, Lifehawk Fent is the real green tractor. And we decided that we're going to clear this area. We've got a tree harvester and all of that. And we can, maybe that's what we do at least part of the day. Bring the tree harvester over here and clear these trees so that when these fields are harvested, we can merge them together. So we're going to buy field 22 here. It's already got sunflowers in it, which we can use for our oil mill. We do have an oil mill, right? Yeah, I'm sure we do.
Yes, we have an oil mill.
And clear these trees and merge these two fields together. It's going to be a nice, like about a 50-acre field by the time we do that. And then, let's see if I can find this. I think it's straight across here.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
It looks like there's a road that cuts through. Yeah, it is. And then this area right here is actually broken into two. But we're going to buy this little meadow here for more placeables. Shoot, we might end up actually making a field out of part of it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're under the weather, Corey, but hopefully nothing too dramatic. So anyway, let's spend the money. Farmland, 22. That's 636,000. Buy. We now own that. We currently have 350. This is going to cost us 100,000 to buy these. So we're going to buy that and that. All right, we own that. And now, I think to get us started, when do you guys want to fill a tipper with some wheat and bring it over?
Yeah, I'll do that in just a second. I'm trying to get some of these logs cleared up off the trailer where they'll go.
I can go grab it. I'm not at the farm, though.
This is a lot of land for one chicken coop.
Could you please, sir? Actually, I guess it is, isn't it?
That's all right. We can find stuff to do with it. I'm just gonna put it over here, right close to the road. Right there. I mean, we can only, if nothing else, we can harvest the grass off this. Oh, that's good, Corey. I mean, not good that you have a cold, but good it's nothing more serious than that. 450,000 and 560,000 liters of canola. Holy crap, mystery.
Wow.
You got some serious fields, brother. Okay, do I buy adult chickens or do I buy
Yes,
adults?
adults.
Okay.
Yeah, buy what can lay eggs already.
Oh, yeah, they're so dirt cheap. It's not. I'm going to buy 60, 180. And then we'll fill up the rest of it for free. There we go. Chickens in the hen house. I like the fact that Giants made them mix and match too. You're not buying all one color now. You've got a bunch of different colors of chickens. It's a small thing, but it makes me happy.
Couldn't you buy different color chickens before?
Yes, you could actually. White, brown, and black, I think.
Yeah.
And roosters are worthless.
They always have been.
Okay, we are rocking and rolling. So, do we have anywhere we can unload that lumber in the timber trailer? Or that timber in the timber trailer?
Oh, I put what it could in the factories and just left it sitting there at the moment.
Well, I want to bring the tree harvester over and clear this area between the two fields.
I guess they're bringing the harvester over.
Oh, and that's right, Precision Farming came out this week. It's quite a bit different. I haven't had a chance to mess with it yet, but it's quite a bit different from the FS19 version, apparently. And there's some bugginess with it, as Graham has mentioned. He's had difficulties getting the scanners to work for him. On console, anyway.
And we can't add it to this map because we've already played on it, so...
Yeah, and in 19, you really didn't want to add precision farming after you had started a map. You wanted to do it right out of the gate. I don't know if that's the case necessarily with 22, but we're playing it safe at the moment. Plus, we want to do that on a new playthrough. When we get to our $1 million a month playthrough, which it's probably not going to be too much longer, we've really just used this over here to fill in the blanks kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, somebody's already driving the tree harvester.
Yep, I am.
Okay, good. Then that means Caveman's delivering wheat.
Yeah, he had the trailer already, so.
No, that's fine.
Trying to anyway.
We don't have a tipper, dude. That trailer, because those chicken coops can be a little snug when it gets into getting the tip area. So if it becomes a problem, let me know.
Well, that's interesting.
What?
This harvester can lift the front and back of it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I've got the dolly, so I'm just gonna grab the log trailer and bring it over via dolly. Now, if you want to go ahead and start cutting trees, Sharko, you're welcome. In fact, I think I'm going to just run the rest of this timber down to the sawmill and sell it.
You know, that makes sense.
It does kind of make sense. They're the carpentries are full, so.
Oh, I see, David. Okay, that's good information. Easy Rider is in the house. Sorry, Easy. Just getting started here, but glad to have you with us. So you can add precision farming to an old map now, but what it does is removes all of your fertilizer.
Okay. Well, on the last one, it broke all contracts, and everything that was fertilized was way over fertilized.
Right.
So if if the map came with precision farming, or update to precision farming, you tried adding it, it would also bug out too.
And precision farming is quite a bit different this time around, I guess. So right now, without precision farming installed, it seems like
9.5, right, for length? Or 9?
9.5. Right now, one of the worst things you can do on your fields is spray herbicide. But for what I've been reading from other people's comments in the Discord, is that now fertilizer is one of the better options to control weeds. So I don't know what to make of that. I honestly don't know. And we'll have a play around. We'll figure out. But we're definitely going to be using it on our next playthrough. So, oh, I see. I'm doing it wrong. Not
Easy
terrible.
Rider, do you mean Elk Mountain?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. And we had considered that, but Caveman, what was the what were you talking about with that, Caveman? It was not multiplayer friendly yet, right?
The map itself is, but the mod that allows the mining to work on the map is not stable in multiplayer.
Okay.
We don't want more unstableness.
No.
No, we really don't. We're already a million times more unstable than we need to be.
Uh-huh.
And that's not even counting Sharko himself.
No, it's not.
Oh,
it's weird that the harvester just dropped a branch. Okay.
And Sharko is actually gonna be going back to work here pretty soon. His whoa! I just climbed a light pole. That was ugly. Talking about Sharko, and then I start acting like him.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, Mystery, I try to take care of the weeds before they ever become a problem. You know you can run a weeder on your field right after you plant it, and that will preemptively take care of the weeds. Now that's prior to precision farming. I don't know how precision farming might change that. Herbicide's best only if you use the sprayer that can spot spray. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I did know spot spraying was a thing for the new precision farming. And keep in mind, guys, that, precision farming is focused on environmentally friendly farming. And I know sometimes when we start throwing out that word environmentally friendly, it can kind of, bring about some eye rolls. And I don't think anybody wants to harm the environment, but sometimes people take things way overboard. And we all sit there going, oh gosh, here we go again with the environmentally friendly stuff. But it really does apply to farming in a big way. And I think your average farmer understands and makes a good big push to be environmentally friendly because they want maximum yield off their fields for as long as possible. So why would a farmer do anything to harm the environment to begin with? And precision farming just takes that to the next level, if you will. So just something to keep in mind. Farming is very much an environmental process, and the use of fertilizers and chemicals can be damaging to the environment. And believe it or not, farmers and farming do take into consideration the needs of wildlife in their area. Now, sometimes they do have to control that wildlife, because if they don't, they can be. One farmer that I've talked to recently, he's a sheep rancher, and he's actually having problems with raptors, predatory birds. And the reason he's having problems with these birds is because he's got a lot of new baby lambs, and these eagles, usually the eagles, I think you'd have to have a pretty sizable bird to do this, but the eagles are actually coming in and taking the lambs. So all this is stuff to just keep in mind that farmers have to take into consideration. I'm not sure what my load side is on this. I hope that's it. I don't remember what my
Controls are definitely different than what they were in 19, it feels like.
oh, that would be why I need to swap the loading position. So that'd be O. That's better. Turn that off. Yeah, I thought it was B. There we go. I have the wrong pile, but who cares? It's still getting loaded.
So what's getting updated next week, Easy Rider? Terraform?
Or precision farming. I'm assuming he's talking about terraform.
Oh,
I
it's a
think
deer.
that's what he's...
Graham, I played up until about 6 months ago. I was playing FS on exclusively a keyboard. If you're comfortable with a keyboard, it's not too difficult.
I'm using a keyboard right now.
But keep in mind, I type 70 words a minute too, so I'm very comfortable using keyboards. If you're not, it's going to be difficult or harder to get used to, but I still think it's very, very playable. And nothing to be intimidated by, for sure. I'd have sworn I turned off that load. Apparently the game did not think so, however.
Did you just want me to delete this little tree here?
I've
Yep.
gotten it. It ain't worth it.
It's more trouble than it's worth with a tree harvester. Matthew Albert, how you doing, bud? Good to see you again. See, this field's partially going to pay for itself.
Pretty much. What is that? There you go. Why is that not cutting? Go in.
Oh, that's what I wanted.
There we go. Sure it's not gonna let me cut it.
Oh, you got the big mega mulcher. Well, and that's a good point too, Mr. E. Even with a PC. Oh, you're gonna hook a keyboard and mouse to your Xbox? Kyle, how's it going, bud? I mean, even if you could hook a keyboard and mouse to your Xbox, you can still run your controller. I think most people would probably be happier with the controller. But then again, what do I know?
Well, controllers are nicer for driving. Keyboard and mouse are nicer for other things.
There's a lot more trees on this than I thought there was going to be.
There is a lot of trees.
Universal auto load mod. I haven't tried that yet because we've got plenty of auto load already built into stuff thanks to Caveman. So we haven't had the need for it. I should probably give it a try though just to see how well it does. You're taking those trees out in good time there, Sharko.
Mm-hmm. Forestry has been always the one thing I have been always decent at. I don't know if that's in your range or not. Oh.
Yeah, you're not prone to
Yes, it is.
Driving tree harvesters in the middle of lakes.
I don't think kids wrong. I actually have purposely drove one through a lake, but I haven't accidentally got one in the lake.
Gotcha.
No, I didn't want to drive all the way around the lake, so I drove through it.
I'm gonna say we're gonna end up with four loads of logs off of just this field separator, and there's one tree down here at the end of the field that you could still trim off too. It's gonna couple of them actually that are gonna be in the way.
Some of the bigger trees have slightly more annoying hitboxes, but
Hey Psycho Kid, how you doing, man? Good to see you again. Well, the good thing is both of these fields should be ready to harvest in pretty short order.
mm-hmm.
And actually, you know, guys, we don't have to get these trees done today. We could actually go ahead and jump forward to August, since we're not planting anything today. Let's do that. Let's get an early morning start in August. There we go. Dum dum da da dum. I can relate to that on some level. Atomic Sneeze. I'm not quite to the point where keyboard and mouse don't work for me anymore, but one thing, and I'll tell you, this is, I don't know how much he wants me to say because he didn't do it publicly, but I won't say who, but somebody was kind enough to generously donate an Xbox controller to Harv. And the reason being is I've been playing a lot of Forza 5, which is a racing game, and oddly enough, now I've got my wheel, and I'll never give up the wheel for Farm Sim. That's just a fact of life. I'll always use the wheel for Farm Sim because I think it works fantastic, but it doesn't work so well for racing games, or at least not for Forza. And this person is playing Forza also, and he told me specifically, "This is full. I'm gonna go sell this. We're not even keeping it because we still have more forestry on our other forest lot."
I'm getting lag when you start pulling away.
It's the logs, yeah.
Oof.
But for Forza, the controller, and I don't like controllers, or let's say I used to not like controllers. I think they have gotten a lot better. And this one is actually a very nice controller, and it actually does better for driving. Now, you would expect a wheel and pedals would be a better option for a driving game. Well, not in this case. The controller is far superior for Forza. And I think if you had the time, which I do not, to sit down and just fuss with your wheel to get it perfectly calibrated so that the game utilizes it properly, that would be one thing. And I'm talking about, really fussing with it and changing every setting 100 times until it's just dialed in perfectly. It would make sense. But just doing a basic wheel setup on Forza is like pulling teeth, and it didn't make sense, and it was a little bit frustrating to me at first that I couldn't use my wheel for a racing game because it's a bloody racing game. But then again, it's designed for Xbox specifically. So it makes a certain amount of sense, I guess, that it's designed for a controller initially, and then anything else you have is up to you. But anyway, Forza is a fun game. I have been enjoying it when I have time to play. I'm still traveling for work. Hopefully that will end within the next 2 to 3 weeks, because I finally have a line on a couple of places that I'll hopefully be signing off on by the end of this week. So we'll see. Lower the degree of steering. Yeah, I did play with my wheel for a little bit. But I don't have that amount of time right now to devote to dialing everything in perfectly.
Well, I mean, the game also, if I believe correctly, drives more archaic than realistic, like simulated. So that's probably why the wheel isn't quite right either for it.
I think there's varying levels of realism that you can add to it. So I think you can do both to some degree.
I just meant I just think the way the game renders everything is probably more archaic compared to Farming Sim, where it's more the game processes it differently.
Well, there's another 60 grand, so that's 10% of our field right there. One load of wood. There's nothing archaic about it. It's a brand new game.
No, but
you're talking about arcade. Archaic means old. If something is
arcade.
Okay, arcade.
Yeah. It's like an old style type of driving. It's not simulated. It's simulated but not realistic, and it's more just kind of fun meant.
I think there might be a balance between the two, leaning toward realism. Honestly.
I haven't played 4. I just know 4 was more arcade than anything else. I don't know about 5.
Well, Corey plays Forza with a wheel and pedals. I'm glad that's working out for you, man. I mean, it's not unplayable, but I do find it easier with a controller. And again, I just don't have time to fiddle with dialing in my wheel. So it's all good. Psycho. Friend of mine was, oh wow, Detroit. I'm sorry to hear that, Psycho Kid. That's a crying shame, man. That's awful. Mouse and keyboard on PC for FPS. I agree with that, Mystery. If you're playing first-person shooters, you need the precision of mouse control for that. I don't see a controller being able to manage that nearly as well as I would want it to.
Well, a lot of games now are cross-platform, so controllers get aim assist and all that now.
That's
so the
true
controllers
too.
will lock on just to help out because the PCs are overpowered.
The PCs are not overpowered. The PCs
can
are what they're should properly be, and the consoles can't keep up.
Well, I just mean as in like mouse and keyboard, the precision is overpowered. Like pro players can destroy any pro player on an Xbox if they were no assist or anything.
Right.
And that's what I mean by overpowered there. It's why they give console players, when they're playing with PC players, advantages.
A lot of those games also have aim assist on controllers, even if you're playing on PC.
That's true.
Like, there was one that I was playing, regardless of whether I was using keyboard and mouse or controller. As long as the controller was plugged in, it gave you aim assist.
Oh, really?
All you had to do is plug it in, and then you got it even using keyboard and mouse.
Huh.
They quickly patched that, but it was like that for a while.
That's better.
They're all loading in the front now.
Well, I didn't realize I had forgotten to turn off auto load. So what happens if you're moving and you have auto load on, it shifts everything as far as you travel. It's targeting a certain spot, and if you're not in that spot, it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Paul Tunks plays all racing games with controllers, and he does much better than with a wheel. So, like I said, you know, if you want to spend the time to dial everything in exactly right, I'm sure a wheel is fine and dandy.
And there's a reason why they're used. What? Why did it just? Okay.
You hit the wrong
I
button.
wasn't even touching my. No, I wasn't even touching the keyboard, and it just went. Okay, I'm just going to drop the tree now. That was weird.
If you have the mad tree harvesting skills you say you do, you should be able to pick it back up. Ooh.
I don't know if I'm that good.
Detroit is not the best city right now in general. They have some economic struggles. I'm not from Detroit, so I guess maybe I shouldn't talk about Detroit, but then again. Did we lose King? Oh, there he is.
You can't find a PS5 in Virginia, Psycho Kid. The pawn shop in Lynchburg had like 3 of them 2 days ago.
I already cut it.
Why?
Hmm?
What did you cut?
Right here.
Yeah. But did you base it on a measure of any kind?
Yeah, I cut it as soon as you brought this vlog over and it was lined up.
Oh, you cut it short.
Oh.
That's why I couldn't figure out whether you waited for me to line up and measure. Nope, don't cut, don't cut. Alright, cut now.
You can get it lined up. Oh, I can't get it lined up.
Caveman will
Wasn't
have to
touching the
mulch this
keyboard.
one.
I wasn't even touching the keyboard when it decided just to drop it.
You can mulch that. Oh, Miss Cummings, how are you? She's had all kinds of helpful suggestions for folks on the Ravenport walkthrough lately. Oh, I'm still on the wrong side. How did I switch that side again? Switch loading position. That's it. I don't know what happened there, but it just put a log on top of my tractor instead of in the trailer.
Did it accidentally switch it over to a different loading type?
I don't think so.
I've had that happen a time or two. Sometimes it's because it's expecting the log to be oriented a different direction than what it actually is.
That must be what it was then.
Sometimes it's because it switched over to three logs and 3 loads instead of one. Also, too, down there at the end of the field where we first started at, there's still some logs down there that need to be gotten.
I'm doing good, Amy. How about yourself? You said great. Good to hear you're doing great. Duh, Harv. I would love to see sod included in the game mystery. Those sod cutters, sod rollers, not sod rollers, but sod cutters are really interesting machines that I think would make a nice addition to the game.
That would be really cool to the game.
I didn't realize we still had more logs down here. Yeah, because don't they just cut up the sod, roll it up all in one fell swoop? I'm pretty sure they do.
Yep, and they usually only cut it though when they need it.
Well, yeah, you can't. Sod would have to be cut and placed within a few days.
I think it's a week is usually what they'll try and get within.
Anything over a week and it starts getting dry and brittle and doesn't want to unroll without cracking and breaking.
Yeah.
There you go, Atomic. Get a couple horns on top of the track. 2 logs on top of the tractor to create horns. Then we could call it the Texas fent. This version of the autoload trailer does not load quite as cleanly as the old version used to. So I'm going to try unloading it and reloading it and see if it doesn't do a little better job.
It generally does, as long as you don't move and you start loading on the front. At least for me, it did.
Well, the old one
We're
used to.
progress.
The old one never left gaps, and this one does.
It's not the loader, it's the collision boxes on the logs.
Is that what it is?
Yes. the log collisions are a lot farther off in 22 than they were on 19.
Yeah, I think they're set sizes now. 19, each log was its own.
Yep. In 19, they were all dynamic. In 22 are set sizes, and that's supposedly supposed to help with lag because it doesn't have to render in as many different
That seems odd.
collisions.
That's an odd concept, in my opinion.
It is.
I didn't say it was good. I just said it's what it's supposed to do.
Hey, Midge. Yeah, sod would be good money, and I agree with you too, Jordan. I think they need to. I think they need to do more with wood chips. I think there's a missed opportunity, and it was the same way in FS19, unless a modder did something specific with them.
I think it out pulp. Adding pulp would be cool.
Oh, like being able to actually cut for pulpwood.
Yeah.
Like
and
orange
make
juice?
paper and all that.
Yeah, being able to make paper, being able to make wood pellets for pellet stoves and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That
I
would
mean,
be cool.
even being able to use wood chips instead of straw for animal bedding.
Well, yeah. I've also heard farmers do this too for like smaller trees, for like the orchards. Is every winter they'll put can I spin that? I can. They'll put wood chips at the bottom of the trees to protect them during the winter.
Also known as mulch.
Exactly. Yeah, a paper mill would be nice.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Wood chips would be an important factor for a paper mill.
Well, I think if they can add pulp, that'd be cool. Which is pretty much just really chewed down wood chips, but
I'm doing my best to get the stumps. I have stump dar, so
nice.
Well, I think I'm pretty full here, so I'm gonna go sell another batch of wood. If I can get out from between all these logs that fell off my tractor. Oh,
the
crap.
semi is available. You know that, right, Harv?
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm gonna end up rolling this anyway. I don't know, the Fent might be the better option just because it weighs enough to not allow the trailer to tip. Oops. It's still wanting to tip, and it's sitting here.
Must be some type of collision, not happy.
You see it rocking?
I see that. It didn't rock as hard for me with the truck, but
I'm gonna go get the truck.
Fent's too heavy, apparently.
Yeah, paper's a really good idea. Paper mills smell atrocious.
Oh, they do smell terrible.
Yeah, but you were talking about beet sugar, Mr. E, and I've lived close to a beet sugar mill before, and those are the worst stink you ever wanted to be around. And it carries for, gosh, 20 or 30 miles.
So does a paper mill.
Paper mills are pretty bad too, yeah.
I'm sure they are. I thought I was going to sneak through there, and I failed miserably. There we go. Yeah, I lived in Boise, Idaho, and about 20 miles west of Boise is a smaller town called Nampa. And in Nampa, there is an amalgamated sugar mill. And good Lord, the stench generated by that it would carry all the way to Boise. Where is the truck?
Should be parked there in the yard.
Got it. The town that I grew up in, Mystery, you wouldn't know it now, but there's a corner on the outskirts of town that used to be a really big oh. Oh, I'm just totally distracted today. I hooked onto the trailer over here instead of coming over to get the log trailer because I'm a rocket scientist that way today. But just on the outskirts of town, which is no longer the outskirts of town because it's grown up so much, was a big pig farm. And yeah, you always knew when you were within a mile or two of that place.
One that smells that you wouldn't think are mushroom farms.
That's because of the type of... Aren't they packed in manure or something?
Yeah,
Most of the time.
So. No, they don't. Their thing doesn't travel. But if you ever drive near one, you do know that you drove by near one.
Yeah, this isn't going to take too long at all, actually.
It's not.
We might get to some harvesting yet this stream. Oh, come on. I'm not off kilter that bad. Okay, there we go. Now let's see how bad I can roll this. Oh,
Probably not as bad as I can roll it.
I'm sure tear gas is pretty foul stuff. See, these logs are behaving very oddly. They're like constantly shifting on the trailer. Do I still have auto load turned on? Nope.
Probably a lag issue.
It's like they don't want to be moving. They want to stay still, and then they catch back up to the trailer or something.
Yeah, I was seeing that
That's
too.
that's a lag issue.
I got good ping though.
It's the server itself not being able to handle it, or something.
It could even be frame lag.
Tear gas is the worst thing you ever smell. I would hope so. That's kind of the point, right? To bring you to tears. Isn't that why they call it tear gas? Need to do more with corn. I'll agree with that. How about a tortilla factory? Or why aren't the grain
Ethanol.
mills producing corn meal?
Ooh, cornmeal, yeah.
Well, you can produce.
Ooh, and the bakery could make cornbread.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Or corn tortillas. Restaurants could make tamales with corn tortillas.
Yeah, make ethanol or something in the oil mill. I mean, not quite the same, but...
No, but it would probably be... Isn't there a biogas plant?
There is a biogas plant.
I don't know if a
That
biogas
wouldn't be considered...
would make ethanol.
Well, all else fails, you could always add another ethanol... Add an ethanol plant.
Yeah, that's true.
And everybody knows that Kaz64 loves his moonshine.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, next load getting sold off.
I mean, the process is pretty much the same. There's just an extra step into making it ethanol.
You know what actually be really nice for them to add? Sweet corn. Because right now we're going to be harvesting cow corn.
Yeah, but then you've got to come up with a different type of harvester.
Most of it's, at least around here, is picked by hand. So...
Alright, well, you let us know when you get done with our 50 acre field of sweet corn.
Well, I'm sure you could... There is a harvester out there for that.
Although
there actually is. There actually is.
Right.
But it only does 2 rows at a time.
I mean, it's not much different than sugarcane.
I actually saw something really cool on one of the farming YouTube channels that I watched in the past. And when they planted their field corn, and field corn is completely different. It's either feed corn or seed corn. But in their planter, they would actually do like the outer 6 rows in sweet corn seed, and the rest of it would be field corn. So they were just running about 6 rows of sweet corn. And that's just enough to pick for your family and maybe take some to a roadside stand. Because if you're from the Midwest and it's late summer, just about every bloody street and road corner you come across
Sweet corn.
it has a sweet corn stand on it. And it's usually really good and really cheap. Oh, we're almost done. You're kicking butt and taking names there, Sharko.
Yeah, but I'm just shoving my face with a log.
Well, that's okay. You've got a log stuck crossways in your harvester.
It's the one that smacked me in the face. There we go.
What would Sharko do?
Get a log stuck in between the harvester.
Byproducts of corn would help feed some animals. Yeah, that would definitely be a good addition to
Chaff.
pig feed.
You can harvest chaff while harvesting the corn sometimes.
Well, he's talking about shucks, and
Shucks, yeah.
he's talking about anything. In fact, when they harvest corn, a lot of times they will just put a cow out on the field or put a herd out on the field and let them have at it.
Yep.
They use that for grazing.
Yeah, like after harvesting, you mean?
Nope, they just let them go in the fully grown field, because what do they want to harvest? Of course, I said after harvesting, silly.
No, I didn't hear that part. Yeah, the farmers around my house do that. Let
And-
the cows just graze in those fields.
And isn't there such a thing as corn hay or corn straw?
There's corn straw.
Corn straw. Yeah.
Corn straw.
They also do stalk bales.
Well, we could do stalk bales of corn, but we wouldn't want to be accused of stalking. Ba-dum-bum-bum. At least one dad joke every week, guys. At least one dad joke a week. Swing your trailer round and round.
Got 2 more here that definitely need to come out.
Yeah.
We're probably going to be able to pay for at least half of this field. Or a third of this field, I should say.
Surprised those aren't forestry companies around here. This land's dirt cheap.
And you were eye-rolling my dad joke? You don't even know what you said, do you?
Oh.
This land is dirt cheap. And that wasn't a purposeful dad joke? Come on, Sharko.
It was no pun. Yeah, pun intended. Totally. Why do trees bend or rotate when you're cutting them? I don't understand that.
I don't understand that either.
Someone should have been completely fine at the trailer and just like, no, I want to go in towards the trailer.
Well, I'm full again, so back to the sawmill.
No, I guess I'll go to the other end of the field then. Because apparently there's more trees down there.
And cut all the trees you want anywhere. At least around here. Yeah,
I'll take
there's
this tree with me.
half a dozen, or maybe 3 or 4 trees down on the other end that could be moved out so we can merge a little bit easier. And then whatever you cut after this, we'll keep to put in our whatever their furniture factories. Grandfather used to, he had 2 acres and ran 5 steers. Next door was a cornfield. After harvest, the neighbor would open the gate and let the cattle feed. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. All right, Mr. E, I'm listening. Don't trust stairs or trees. Trees are shady and stairs are always up to something. And don't believe atoms, they make up everything. Okay, I'm going to remember the atom joke. Yep, atoms make up absolutely everything. They're big liars. Multiplayer issue in single play, you shouldn't see it. It's because the trees are loaded in size. The thicker sides all get loaded. Yeah, well, the old auto load trailer, it would actually like pick and choose the exact tree that it wanted to fill a spot. You could watch it do it too. It was pretty cool. This one is just grabbing them. It is flipping them though, depending on which end is bigger, and trying to lay them in a little nicer. It's just not doing quite as good a job as the old version used to do. Man, that's funkiness. These logs are really shifting in the trailer now.
I get some. There's definitely some type of glitch, lag, something.
Oh, cattle eat pumpkins too. That's cool, Atomic Sneeze.
Oh, I guess that does make sense.
Used to go to the pumpkin fields after Halloween and buy up all the unsold pumpkins to feed to the cattle. That's interesting. I would have thought pigs, but I didn't know cattle were into pumpkins. It's probably
I would have thought pigs as well.
Probably a nice treat for them too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know cattle eat grass, but they definitely still have a sense of taste.
You wanna cut some of these trees down, caveman?
Hang on. Go up this side of the field right here. You see
That
where I'm
side?
at? Yeah,
Yeah.
take this tree. And then this tree.
And then go up upwards.
And I think that's all we need to make it merge proper.
Okay. That's all we need. Well, we made about 200,000 on trees. There's actually 230,000 on trees. So we did pay for a third of that field just by clearing those trees in the middle. Cows love pumpkins. So is
I mean, it makes sense.
is that where Harry Potter gets their pumpkin juice from? Cow milk after eating pumpkins?
Would that change? That probably changed the taste, wouldn't it?
Well, it makes sense. You know, when they make total mixed ration, a lot of times in the real world they add molasses to it, which I assume makes it sweeter. Although molasses isn't terribly sweet, but it would be sweeter and makes it more palatable to the cows. Yes, I just used a $3 word, palatable.
Or at least you didn't use a $40 word.
That's true. Although I can't think of any way to use the word supercalifragilisticexpialidocious in relation to cows.
You said it helps to go down.
That's a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, not supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
No, it's true. It's true.
This is looking good, guys. This is looking really good. We are going to have one whopping big field when all this comes together.
I'm just going to run around the field real quick and see if I can find any more that need to come down around the field.
That's a good idea.
Is a good idea.
And we've got all the stumps out. Did your stump dar do its job?
I think I got all. I think I got all of them.
Oh, my stump dar's not coming up with anything, so.
Have I missed anything in loading and clearing?
There's one small one over here, but not worth you trying to pick it up, I don't think.
Just mulch it. There's a little tiny skinny one over here too that I don't. Well, I got it anyway, so it's all right.
I think we're good.
Lifehawk's trying to spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, which I actually can spell, by the way. Not that that's anything to be proud of.
I can't spell it. Oh, right here.
Yeah, just throw it on there.
I'll just throw it, yeah. Then whatever. Good enough.
Well, no, because it's going to block anything else from loading properly if it's up like that. There we go. I got it. All right.
There's one more over here that on this other end that could have come down.
Why don't you just mulch it? Unless you think we need the wood.
It's not a huge one anyway, so.
All right. Okay.
Drive the harvester out to the middle of the field.
There we go.
Oh, your mom and dad grew up on farms? My mom and dad aren't living anymore either, Amy. So I understand that. There are many times I wish I could have one last chat. But we are not getting into sadness mode. Well, unless you're talking about me driving this bloody semi, then that's pretty sad. Today.
Yeah, not as sad as me. I'd somehow figure a way to get it flipped upside down, the truck inside the trailer, and in the water.
You raise a good point there.
So if you do, as long as you don't do all those together, you're doing better than I would.
Actually, if we wanted to place a second chicken coop now, we could do that pretty safely.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Do we want a second chicken coop?
Or why not?
No, you're still over there. You want to go ahead and plop one down and put another 180 chickens in there? I'll grab some wheat since I've got the truck.
So I think we're both pretty much at the farm already.
Well, either one of you. I don't care who.
I'm on my way back over there. I got it.
We made bank today.
Yeah. How much did we make total today so far?
Well, we got about 230 from wood, another 350 from our products. Well over $500,000.
Wow, that's a lot.
There we go.
Why do I have canola in? Oh, I know why. Never mind. So we're still trying to finish a contract, that's why.
How many chickens do you say get?
180. 63 times. I'm going to see if the oil mill will take this canola yet and we can finish that canola contract.
Well, we did skip a day, so it might help. Is that all it was for 180 chickens?
Oh, that's sugar anyway. Yeah, they're like 3,500 a piece for 60 chickens.
Oh, that was 60.
Yeah, 3,300 for 60 chickens. That's not terrible. Adult chickens.
That's 108.
Okay, that's still ridiculously cheap.
Chickens are really easy to get into.
And it is.
It still doesn't take. Oh, I've got 24,000 liters of canola here. It's going to be a while before that contract completes.
99%.
What's 99%?
The contract.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It has been for a while.
Yeah, I think it was 98 before, now it's 99. It's
And
the
our oil mill
slightest
is
ever.
jacked full.
I've literally seen a contract sit at 100%.
Oh, it's 'cause it rounded up
Because
instead
it rounds, yeah.
Yep, it rounds.
Oh,
Literally needed to dump like one more liter in to get it to complete.
Yeah, chickens are painfully easy in Farm Sim 22. I mean, they're painfully easy, and eggs usually sell for a really good price. It's not hard to maintain, 300, 600, 1,000 chickens. Not hard at all, and that's going to crank out a lot of eggs.
just need the food.
Oh, I see what you did here. So we have our feed. Okay, we've got all of our chickens in one yard. I get it. What I like to do personally is get about a 20 or 30,000 liter trailer, fill it up, and then just park it over here with where my chicken coops are, so I don't have to run back and forth all the time. That's just
like a chase. I wonder if you could use like a grain hopper or something. Not a hopper. Auger. No, someone that can. Yeah, an auger wagon.
An auger wagon would work, sure.
It would just constantly keep filling up, and every so often you just fill up the auger wagon.
No, that wouldn't work because then you got to have a running tractor attached to it.
Do you?
Yeah, you do. You just want a cheap trailer.
Yeah, whatever.
Alright, buying one.
Just 30,000 liters or so, 20 to 30.
That is 33.6.
That works. How much money?
38.5.
$1,000 a liter, or yes, $1,000 a liter. That works. And technically, we even really have a tractor we could leave with it right now.
Yeah, because we have two of the case harvesters.
Yep.
Or not harvesters, still tractors. Oh yeah. We only have the one harvester, don't we?
Yep.
Yes, we've only got one harvester.
Because I think in September is when our sorghum comes due, and I think we're going to jump into September here.
We don't happen to have a small trailer, do we? For the corn header.
No.
Okay.
We don't need one because it folds, so we
That's
can
true.
still get it down the road.
I was just thinking about getting it over to the field.
You can put it on the combine and drive it.
You already took the combine.
Well, the sunflowers aren't going to be ready to harvest at the same time as the sorghum anyway.
Both dark green, but maybe not.
Is our sunflowers ready in September?
I was looking at the list. Yes.
Oh, well, okay.
The only thing that's not is olives and sugarcane. And the ones that are harvestable now.
Oh, Oh, we're going to advance time, so maybe we can process that canola in time. I don't know. We might need another trailer.
Graham, pigs are meant to be sold. That's how you make money from them.
Yep, that's right.
They don't really produce anything. They're just meant to be bred and sold.
Exactly. Unless somebody comes out with a, butcher or something.
Butcher, yeah. That's actually not a bad idea. But I don't know how you'd actually implement that.
A pig goes in.
No, I meant
Product
game-wise.
Pork product comes out. Well,
With the
same.
production,
Yeah, the production.
it's not that hard.
Is it not? Are animals that easy? Or easy?
It's this. Animals are a fill type in the game.
Are they actually?
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay, then that makes it pretty easy then. I didn't realize they were fill types.
Animals are fill types according to Farming Simulator.
Okay. No, I want to note that.
Come on, come on.
Are they ready to actually be harvested? Yes.
Well, sorghum's not ready to be harvested, but the sunflower. Oh wait, yes it is. It was just taking a while for the field to update.
Loading, yeah.
If you wanted to buy one of your big trailers, Caveman, I wouldn't be disappointed in that.
We could have two trailers running.
You got the one that's big trailer.
Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about, the one you modded.
Yes, I know the one you're talking about.
Excellent.
Where's our mulcher?
It was delicious.
Well, I'm glad it was delicious.
You're gonna need a fent for it, and it's where the auger, it's under the same thing as the auger trailers.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Exactly, Amy. A butcher would make all of the animals, or give all of the animals a new purpose. Sheep are the
Cool.
same way, and
Sheep, cows.
Trailer should be sitting up there if somebody wants to pick it up.
I got the mulcher, so.
Oh, you got the okay. I was running the
chicken feed.
I
for
can
the
grab it.
chickens. I was doing the stuff for the chickens.
I almost flipped the fence.
So, Mystery, I would strongly recommend putting sugarcane in the smaller of those fields. Because sugarcane produces outrageous quantities.
And it is extremely slow to harvest. Unless you're using mods.
Yep. $250,000 of barley for beer. But you don't know where to put it?
Look, I think people don't like driving. Maybe because I'm around. All the traffic just left.
I thought we had traffic turned off anyway.
We do have it turned off. Just saying, 'cause I'm all over the road. They're glad they're not turned on.
Yeah, my sugar cane would be going in the 12-acre field for sure.
He's in the other field, caveman.
How many sugar mills do you have?
That too, you might want more than one sugar mill.
Yeah.
Because 2 sugar mills isn't enough to chew through 8 acres of sugarcane in a year. The base game ones aren't, anyway.
Playing Hout Baileron. Is there a limit on how much each sell point will take, as it only let me sell half my strawberries? You want to field that one, Caveman? Since you've run into that problem before?
There's a bug in the game that sell points are not going through stuff like they're supposed to, like productions are supposed to. Unless you own them, they're not really working right.
But is there
So-
production though for?
The way to fix that involves going in and editing the game save, and you can only do that if you're on PC.
He said it. What was it? He said it was strawberries. Is there
Yeah,
a
strawberries.
backdate to strawberries. Oh, I guess
Yeah,
the
The bakery would.
Yeah.
Oh, so your folks were running a dairy farm, Amy. I gotcha. Yeah, when a cow would get too old, and that's why it was turned into hamburger and not steaks and whatnot, because a cow that old would probably have some pretty tough meat. But yeah, either way, they were making money. Good for them. Cool. Yes, you can, Amy. You can have that's one of the great things that FS22 did, was add productions, and one of those productions is a sugar mill. Mr. E, also, just to let you know, since you're getting into productions, one thing on ModHub, there is a 5 times speed bakery known as the Industrial Bakery, which we're actually using on this playthrough, and I use it a lot on when I play, solo map or whatever. Does a fantastic job, and it runs 5 times faster than the base game productions. Frankly, a lot of the base game productions are very, very slow, and they're not worth it. The one that comes to mind right now is the cereal mill. I don't see the cereal mill being worth doing or pursuing, but Caveman linked a batch of mods for us either last week or the week before. They're called the No Handcuffs production mods. That link is available also in the Discord. And those pretty much take all the base game productions and make them 5 times faster. More of an industrial level production. I don't see that as a cheat. I see that as slightly more realistic, especially as slow as some of these things are. So, it's your game, play it your way. But if you want a little bit better production, well, significantly better production, the no handcuffs version are definitely the way to go there.
Yes. And what you're going to do to fix that issue is you're going to open up your game save, and you are going to search for something. It's going to be an XML file, and it's going to be titled Placeables. What you're going to do is you're going to look for anything owned by Farm Zero, and if it has a number in there where the fill level is for Farm Zero, anything that's titled for Farm Zero, you want to set that fill level to 0. And what that'll do is it'll remove anything that was inside of the production that's owned by the map.
And that's right, Midge. There was a mod, I saw it come out either yesterday or the day before, that is supposed to fix that production problem. I haven't tested it. I don't know if it's available for consoles, but I do know that I saw that mod was added to ModHub. And of course, it wasn't a Giants fix. It was done by a modder who we rely on for all of our fantastic stuff in FS 1922, and I'm sure previous versions that I never played.
And more than likely future versions that are yet to be released.
Yep. Oh, that's a good point too, Paul. There is no potato production, although Omatana did come out with an interesting little production pack. Now, this isn't meant to be an industrial level production pack. It's actually meant to be farm, like sideline productions for your farm, but it adds 10 new products to your game. They're in smaller quantities. You know, like I said, these are sideline for a farmer, you know, who's got extra time on their hands and just want to make a little extra money on the side. But 10 additional productions from Omatana. Oh, you want me to get that little patch, Shurko, before you mulch it over?
I'll wait.
I'm going to swing to my left here, caveman, and grab that patch real quick. At it from a different angle. There we go. When FS23 comes out, it's going to be for Android only. It's hard.
Yeah, Giants likes to each number. So you'll have like 22, 23 will be Android, 24 will be PC, 25 will be Android. That's how they've done it in the past.
It's not just Android. It goes to Android, iOS, and Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
mobile.
Mobile only. Yeah, the in-between versions are always mobile versions, and then those drop between full game versions. So I never felt like I could get much out of Farming Sim on a mobile device, but hey, if that's your bag, go for it.
I can tell you that's how my sister plays FS, and she likes it.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm like I said, it's your game, play it your way. That's always been my motto.
I guess if you don't have a lot of free time, at least not on a computer free time, it probably would make some sense. If it's on your phone, you have your phone always with you, right? So
I'm not saying that you can't get a lot of enjoyment out of it. I'm just saying
I couldn't.
I think I've spent far too much time in the full version to downshift into a different version. FS23 won't be on Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. Unless you maybe have some kind of emulator.
Not all games that are mobile will work on the mobile emulators. Sometimes they just don't support the different control input.
The touch or whatever that they require, or yeah.
Right, some of them do have to have the touch inputs.
And luckily Stevie built this to unload really quickly, so I'm empty. And I didn't even have to stop, even though you got to me late.
Lag will do that to you sometimes.
That it will.
Although I gotta say, I'm glad I'm not at the 3,000 ping I was the last two streams.
My ping's not going up ridiculously. I mean, it's starting up to 90 or 100 sometimes, but it's the game seems to just not be happy.
I will swing by the farm, by the way, and pick up the corn header when I head over to the other batch of fields. You said the sunflowers are ready right now?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. We're going to blame Sharko because it doesn't work on all platforms. Lifehawk emulates Demi Moore. We had a discussion yesterday about Demi Moore, and I don't find her attractive, and he thinks she is the bomb. It's your Demi. Play it your way. Greenhouse mods by AK that put 6 greenhouses in one. Oh wow, that's a lot of greenhouses.
That's a lot of pallets.
That's a lot of water. Does it also make you use fertilizer and stuff like that? Seed? Some do. Some of those mods do. See, Jordan plays FS on his Switch.
Mm-hmm. I kind of skipped like 2 years.
Paul, that would be right. FS22 has done remarkably well. I don't know if it's their advertising campaign or the boost in YouTube channels that really popped up during COVID.
Well, they published it themselves for the first time.
And they published it themselves for the first time. But really all that did was put more money in their pocket. I mean, it's not like it was... The publisher was denying anything to the public.
No, it's just usually harder for companies to self-publish. So the fact that they did sell very good is very incredible.
Right. No, that's not too bad, Mr. E. And you know, when I read Mr. E's comment about utilizing fertilizer, keep in mind, guys, that farmers are really going to be struggling this year. They really, really are going to have a hard year. Do what you can to support your local farmers because with the cost of fuel skyrocketing, and I do mean skyrocketing, diesel is over $5 a gallon right now in the U.S., and a tractor will go through in a season 800 or 1,000 liters. And if you're running multiple vehicles, that's a lot of money. The cost of fertilizers has doubled in the last year. And so farmers are going to be struggling with the price of fertilizers. You're going to see your foods go up dramatically. And they already have. We've already seen a massive increase. But, you know, there's a lot of factors involved. We're not going to get into the politics. We do not do politics on Harv's World. I'm just saying, you know, remember your local farmers, guys. If you see a farmer's market or something you can buy local and direct, do it. You know, if you can afford it, get out there and support those farmers directly. They need your help. They really do. It's going to be a very, very difficult year for the farming community. Luckily, I'm in a position where I can help farmers on a regular basis. That's my job these days. I can't say too much about that. I work for the federal government, and we've got a lot of prohibitions about what we can say and when we can say it. So I don't want my job to start seeming like I'm using it to promote my side business of YouTube, if you will, but you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, farmers are going to be struggling. So keep that in mind when you're out buying and all of a sudden you see that ground beef is $7 a pound instead of the $3.99 you're used to. It has to do with current events and world affairs. And farmers don't get a lot of choice in that.
I don't know about where everybody else is, but I know the local farmers market here prices there are a lot better than they are at like Food Lion or Walmart.
Yeah, there's no middleman. Nobody trying to jack up the price to make an extra buck.
Right, and it's also a lot better quality food.
Yeah, and you know exactly where it came from.
Yep.
Here's an interesting little factoid that I discovered when I lived in Idaho. Now, everybody, or most people at this point, know that there's plenty of jokes about Idaho and potatoes. Idaho is recognized for potatoes, and I can tell you why that is. But you go to a grocery store in Idaho, it's almost impossible to get high quality potatoes. The potatoes that I always found in the grocery stores in Idaho, and I'm not going to say this is true everywhere, but every grocery store I shopped at, you would get potato seconds basically. So they've got shovel marks in them, they're misshapen. You know, you couldn't find a good sized baking potato to save your life, that kind of thing. But if you went to Costco, you could buy nice, big, fat, high quality potatoes. And the reason is because obviously potatoes are a big export for Idaho. They export all of the good, high quality potatoes. Then Costco is obviously packaging them and and are repackaging them and then bringing them back in. And the package actually says Idaho potatoes on it. And this header got really jacked up over here. This looks like this has got Sharko's name all over it. I should have known that was gonna happen.
I'm not really leg right.
You are all kinds of robotic
Digital.
right now. Domo arigato. Yeah, it was the weirdest thing, though. You wanted good potatoes. Idaho being the state that's dramatically known for potatoes, and you couldn't get them there. At least not where I was living. Oh, that's cool, Midge. Lettuce and potato, or lettuce and tomatoes to make salads for production. That's pretty cool. Harv's phone is bugged. What?
Yeah, that's why you can't talk about it, because your phone's bugged. I
Oh,
don't know what you said.
that's right. Bugged. Yes, my brain was somewhere else, which these days is frequently the case. Leave me alone, I'm old.
Excuse.
Since I've got the corn header on, I'm going to go ahead and do the sunflowers next.
Oh, well, I guess I need to go empty this then.
Yeah, put it in the flour mill. The grain mill, please. Oh, don't want to do that.
Darker, you're going to need that on the other two fields as well.
There.
Okay. Grain mill's full.
Of sorghum?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I forgot to resize my header before I started this. That's better. No, it isn't.
I don't know what's going on there.
It's been Sharkoed.
Well, I think it's my computer.
That's right, Paul. I am
My
seasoned.
phone's working fine.
What the heck? There. If that doesn't do it, something is seriously wrong. There. Okay. You're not old, you're broken. Wait, what were we doing? Broken? I'm not broken. I'm breaking, but I'm definitely not completely fully broken. So what did we say this field was? About 30 acres? 28 acres?
28. Well, if you go in it, it says.
Passing through. How dare I drive through the field like that? Oh my god. What was I thinking? I drove right through the field.
28.5 acres.
Well, passing through, I guess you're just living up to your name. If you're unsubbing because I drove through a field, I wish you the best of luck, my friend. Yeah, exactly, Redshift. Fertilizer.
Right.
Fertilizer is out. Out of this world. Uh-oh, Sharko dropped off now.
My computer's being really weird. We'll have to reset it. So I'll be right back.
Okay. And that's not just going to affect American farmers. I mean, South America is going to get hit really hard. So all of you coffee lovers like Harv, I can't live without my coffee in the morning. It's just a fact of life. But coffee prices are going to go crazy because South American farmers have had their supply chain wrecked. And that's because of the war in the Ukraine. South America got a lot of their fertilizer from Russia. So they're going to be struggling too. So any crops that we normally depend on from South America is going to be hit really hard too. Had to find a mod to fix sunflower oil value and production amount. I found base game to be very light. I agree, Mr. E. The oil mill was another one that just wasn't doing it. The two that actually work really well, I think, base game, are the grain mill and the sugar mill. I think both of those are fine. I know I could run at least 2, maybe even 3 of the industrial bakeries off of one flour mill. That's assuming I had all 4 inputs in, though. Coffee beans grown as a greenhouse thing. I don't know, should they? I don't know how well coffee beans and greenhouse, some plants just aren't growable in greenhouses. Some plants aren't growable on an industrial level either. One that I can think of in the Pacific Northwest, all over the mountainsides, and we're almost to that time of year, you will see cars lined up all along the roads because people are out on the mountainsides harvesting wild huckleberries. Huckleberries are a big deal, and they are delicious. They really are. They're like miniature blueberries. Anyway, they have tried to produce those. And they can't get them to grow properly. So you can really only get wild huckleberries.
Weird.
Yeah.
wonder if there's some type of requirement that you can't get in like growing fields. Kind of like some trees have to have like forest fire for them to start growing.
No, that's a good point too. Some plants do better in that situation. Mr. Let's see. Oh, Paul. There's no purpose to rolling before you plant. It's just wasting your time. Oh, and I just lost Caveman too. They're dropping like flies. Hashtag BSC.
Oh, I'm joining back in now. Just Steam's taking forever to load.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for some reason my computer, once in a while, just decides it doesn't want to work. Now I've tried getting a new internet card, because right now I'm using Wi-Fi, and it just doesn't work. And I went on my phone, fine. So I don't know what the issue was.
Well, Caveman got back in before you did, Sharko.
Yeah, I have to reset my computer.
I'll be your Huckleberry. That's right, Pep. Mr. Pepler, how you doing, man? Good to see you with us. We've got a pretty solid stream today, guys, and I appreciate everybody joining back in with us. Really, really do. It's good to see everybody again. I don't get to talk to you guys as much as I used to, and I miss that. Coffee's originally
you missed
from
a whole row here too.
I know. For some reason, this thing must be off by a couple inches, and at some point, it's going to start missing a row here and there. Of course, I'm not going to leave it that way. Coffee's originally from Africa, Ethiopia area. I moved to Colombia due to similar environment. So, it was moved there due to sure. Plus, it's a high-value crop, right? Now, I'm a coffee lover. I got to tell you, I'm a coffee lover. But there's this one coffee bean. I want to say it's Asian in origin. And it has to pass through the digestive tract of some kind of marsupial or something before they will turn it into coffee. Like, before they can roast the bean and actually, grind it for coffee or whatever. And as much as I love my coffee, I'm not drinking that. That just sounds disgusting. I don't care how much sanitizer they put on it. Well, Caveman joined in really fast. Sharko has stalled the whole thing. And this is really a hashtag BSC moment. Sharko?
I just got too warm. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Like everything stopped working on my end there for a second.
Yeah, that's probably the first, because it's the first time booting up Farming Sim since I reset my computer, so... it just decides to take forever when loading a map.
Oh, there you go, Mystery. That's right, it's Civets.
Where's the tractor I had? There it is.
Yeah, Midge. It happens from time to time. Is Hobo's Hollow... Is Hobo's Hollow a piece? Yeah, it's a 4x map, Amy. That's right. So, consoles can't handle that big of a map these days. What happened there? I had cruise control turned on and it just stopped. That was weird.
That's weird.
That coffee I was talking about is called Kopi Luwak. That's right.
I don't think there's an issue with 4x. I just don't think anyone's tried, or Giants just don't like it. I'm not sure.
I don't know
So
what
it is technically possible.
Consoles can get larger maps. They just have to be perfectly optimized.
Yeah.
And when I say perfectly optimized, I mean way more optimized than anything that's already on Mod Hub.
Yeah.
Paul, to answer your question, yes. Once I get moved and my time becomes more stable, I am going to pick up a midweek stream again. Now, the weird thing, I'm in a training program right now, guys, and so even though I'm going to move and stabilize for a while, there are going to be times when they're going to expect me to travel. That's part of training, is traveling to different places to work in different situations. Because I'm training to be a director, a manager. So, I need variable, different work experiences. Because some places do things or have access to programs that my office wouldn't necessarily use, just because of the area that we're located in. So, the next 6 months or so are going to kind of be a little bit of a give and a take. But hopefully, I get this move out of the way. I can sit still for a little while at least. Keep your fingers crossed, because I've had enough travel. What location is Hobo Hollows in? I can't remember. There's a really cool... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming it's northern region because of all the pine trees.
There's a really cool website that someone has developed that puts all of the maps that are either coming or are currently available on FS22 and places them on a Google map to what their supposed location is. And I know Hobo's Hollow is on there, but I can't remember where it was at.
It's northwest, the northwestern part of the U.S., I think.
Maybe. I cannot remember. Sparky, I really loathe moving too, and I've got at least 2 more moves in my future, probably within less than a year. Because even though I'm moving now, I get through the training program, I'm not moving to the location where my final job will be. So, the next year is going to be a bit of a struggle, I gotta tell you. Nothing easy for the hard, but the payoff will be worth it. I'm firmly believe the payoff will be worth it, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it.
However, you want to get that 1 strand?
Yes. Oh, do I need to come back and get that so you can work over there?
Yeah. Don't want to plow over it. Or mulch over it, I guess.
I was trying to find Hobo's Hollow real quick to see if I could find out where it was located. Holler when I start coming toward the
You're at the end.
Hobo's Hollow is in the upper Michigan Peninsula. Hobo's Hollow is in the upper peninsula of Michigan. At least according to...
Don't forget to grab his little...
Oh, yeah. According to Argsy, Argsy, I think it's Argsy Gaming, is the one who did this little web page. It's really cool, actually. In 19, there's a map called Big Fields. It's pretty cool. Fields are bigger and you get more money on contracts. Yeah, you might, if you like the bigger maps too, Amy, you could check out Stone Valley by Lancy Boy. I'm pretty sure that's available for console. And it's a big American farming map. It was hugely popular, and it is coming for FS22 also. I know Lancy Boy's been working on it.
He's trying to get it optimized to the point he can actually put the 4X version on console.
Okay.
Instead of having 2 different versions.
See, this is some funkiness too. Little strips like this where you don't actually see a plant growing, but there's no harvest on the field, no harvest texture on the field. I am harvesting sunflowers off that stretch, even though there's no plant there. Funky.
Probably how you missed a row that finally built up to enough.
Oh, that I could actually see it. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a significant amount, so I'm not going to go back and retrace my steps on all of that or anything. Yes it is, Sparky. Yes it is. It has some issues, though, I'm going to warn you. I have looked at it. The vehicle mods that are incorporated, and this was last I checked a few weeks ago, were pretty broken. I don't think they've been updated since one of the Giants mods, or one of Giants updates. Because there was one update maybe 4 or 6 weeks ago that really kind of exploded a few mods, and that's what the broken modded vehicles on Wild West looked like to me, as they hadn't been updated since that patch. So play at your own risk. And honestly, on the Wild West map, you could literally play that whole map without ever owning a field and walk away a billionaire.
Some crazy lag, sorry.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
I just had some massive lag there too.
Yeah, there you go, Redshift, exactly.
It's hard to see where you've mulched in these fields.
That's why it's usually a good idea to fertilize them first before you mulch them,
Oh.
depending on the field. Niedersachsen, huh? I haven't played Niedersachsen, Mr. E. I agree, Paul. I also think, like, because there was a modder who did milkable sheep in FS22, and I genuinely think sheep's milk should be added because it is becoming more and more popular. Yes, people do milk their sheep, and sheep are a lot cheaper to run than cows. Somebody's lagging.
I could see that.
And it wasn't Sharko
Yes.
this time. I blame Sharko for Caveman's lag.
I mean, I was in his way, so I stopped him.
Sharko got better internet and mine got worse.
Yeah, I really am a little bit disappointed in Giants that they didn't add a new type of animal.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of other... I see Caveman climbing a mountain on the edge of the map right now.
Oh my gosh.
What are you doing, or what is your poor internet doing to you? Holy crap, dude.
I don't know, but I'm literally at 24 seconds ping.
Oh gosh.
Ouch. Yeah, Randy, everything's pretty big on this map. It's an American map, what do you expect? Although I'll tell you, some of the biggest fields I've ever seen were watching Canadian farmers. Those guys do not fool around, man. Mike Mitchell is one that I watched for a while. He's got a huge farming operation. Alright, Caveman. You've crashed Sharko, and you've crashed me. And
I have no...
I understand
control
that.
over the truck.
I get it. We might have to limit you to 5 miles an hour.
At least until his internet's fixed.
I haven't, like, literally, I cut the truck off when I was at the edge of the field because it was lagging so hard. I haven't touched the controller since.
Yeah, I understand.
Game, it's really angry that you haven't finished our conjoint mod yet. So it's just like you have to get this out.
Amy, if you're on, there are goats on a map called I think it was Dalton Valley Farm. Had added goats. I don't know if that's available on console or not. Kaz64 added a bunch of different animals. Goats and ducks are two that I can remember off the top of my head on all of his maps for FS19. I've not seen him do anything like that yet for FS22, though. He does have additional crops, however. Oh, absolutely, Randy. I'm not going to say there aren't massive fields in the States, especially in the Great Plains area. And I'm sure in Australia there is a lot of huge farming operations too. Not all of it is the outback, guys.
Thank you. You don't care about the withered stuff, do you?
Well, Fox, there I said earlier, there are sheep milking operations, and they are getting more and more popular. Well, I mean, think about it. Sheep are smaller. They eat far less than a cow does. Far, far less than a cow. They're easier to handle. Although I think they might be a little more destructive than cows. I mean, every animal has its pros and cons. But right now, especially with as much drought, having animals that don't eat as much as a cow is a big deal.
I actually heard a cool thing with sheep and goats. Solar farms will usually lend out their fields to sheep and all that because they can graze around underneath the panels, and the panels stop a lot of the moisture from vaporizing or evaporating.
That's a really good idea, actually.
So they actually work in. They're small enough where they don't damage the panels or anything, because the cows would. So up here, a lot of the solar panel plants are lent out to sheep farms because of that.
I'm sure. Well, maybe in Canada, around here, they wouldn't be able to graze their sheep there for free.
No, they usually lease out the property up here.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Randy,
it's cheaper than running one field.
Randy, we are not running precision farming yet. This is an interim playthrough. We finished up on Elm Creek 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we were holding off on starting an official playthrough until precision farming comes out. Now that precision farming is out, we were taking a serious look at maps, but we want to start looking again. We will be starting a new official playthrough. It's going to be our $1 million a month challenge. It's going to be brutal. In fact, why don't I run through the rules that were devised for that? Now we're calling it the $1 million a month challenge, and really it's a $12 million a year challenge, because it would be just dramatically harder to try to genuinely make $1 million a month. But we have to make 12 million a year, and we've got to do that for 2 consecutive years. If we make 12 million one year and 11 million another year, it's counted out and we have to start from scratch. Seasons has to be turned on. We cannot use grass products as part of our income. So we can't sell silage. That would actually be painfully easy. Silage is such a big money maker in FS22. It has to be played on hard mode and hard economy. We can't do a bunch of funky edits just to make our income better. So we can't do any strange mod edits or anything like that. Equipment, sped up equipment or higher volume equipment, that's one thing, but actually doing factories and whatnot that, sell $1 million pallets of whatever, we can't do that. We cannot start our year of income until all of our loans have been paid off. We cannot hold stuff for more than 1 year. We cannot hold anything for more than 1 year. You always have a peak sale point during a year. We need to sell at that peak sale point. So once a year, we have to sell off everything and start fresh for the next year. And we cannot do any contracts that provide product to our owned mills. I think that's almost as much of a cheat as field flipping is. Now, I'm not going to judge if that's what you want to do, and we've done it plenty on this playthrough, because honestly, this is just kind of a fun, no holds barred, do whatever we feel like doing playthrough. But yeah, the game does allow you to accept contracts for products going to your own factories, and unfortunately, that's providing you product for free, which is the same as field flipping. It's exactly the same thing, just done in a different way. So that's going to be our $12 million a month playthrough, or $12 million a year, or $1 million a month playthrough. We don't know what map it's going to be yet. We're going to start looking at that very carefully this week, and hopefully coming up with something. Although, to be honest, we have had a hard time finding good maps yet. There aren't that many out there. I got to be honest with you guys. And we need one that's bigger. We need at least a 4 times map. And David, we've already said that we were holding off on running this challenge until precision farming was available to us. So I kind of feel like it goes without saying that we will be running precision farming on this hard playthrough. That was always the intent. Precision farming was always the intent. That's the only reason we haven't started a completely new playthrough yet. So you will get what you ask for, my man. Although, keep in mind, as the Rolling Stones remind us, you can't always get what you want. But often you'll find that you get what you need. Niedersachsen is a 4 times map. I was checking out one the other day that was just okay, and it was supposedly 4 times, and I can't remember what it was. Do you guys remember what I said in Discord?
No, I do not.
Don't, yeah.
Well, shoot.
I could go back and look.
Yeah, it was just an okay map. I didn't think it would be good for a stream, but... Hey, Hooked on Quack. Doing well, man. We're doing great. How about yourself? Corey. Corey's uncle has 4 massive fields on his farm. He's from Ontario. Your neck of the woods, right, Sharko?
Uh-huh.
Isn't Saskatchewan kind of a big field farming area? Am I thinking about that right?
Plains. It's a plains area.
Yeah. Lots of massive fields in Saskatchewan.
Also Alberta too. The lower parts of Alberta and Saskatchewan are shared when it comes to farmland. That's too far. I've gone too far in Discord.
Gotcha, Randy. Gotcha. Oh, I did too. Oh, cool, Corey. Lots of cattle in Alberta, big fields in Manitoba. Very nice. Have we even looked to see what we might be putting in these fields? If there's anything we can put in these fields? I haven't looked yet.
We
Haven't
can
looked
put
either.
in wheat, barley, canola, or oats.
Well, we don't need to put in canola. That's
Nope.
for sure.
Actually, all of our factories are full. We need to put in cash crops.
The only crops I think we can plant are grain.
Well, if that's all we can do, then I say we plant oats because they have good cash value in my opinion, and they make straw as well.
True.
Calendar will let us plant any cereal crop, and that's it, or grass. How about grass, guys? You want to do grass?
No.
Not really.
Everything is in a grid. Fields are a full quarter section, which is 160 acres. Wow. Or even half sections in some full sections, single fields. That's just impressive in my opinion. And this sliver of missed row is starting to bug the crap out of me. I'm gonna see if I can't narrow this down to maybe if I drop it right down to 40 feet even. Am I still honestly missing that? Yes, because I wasn't paying attention. That's all right. I'd be really surprised if there isn't a Canadian map coming for FS22. If there's not one already. Now because I changed my size, I'm going to miss a couple rows I'll have to come back and get. I should have done that earlier.
Well, I can say this. My map is not a Canadian map.
Sharko's map is not a Canadian map. Well, no.
That's all I'm going to say. I mean, so far the map's looking pretty good.
I see one called Shellbrook, Saskatchewan. That's a 4 times map. That is supposedly already out.
Oh.
Oh, there you go, Randy. Randy was on it like a car bonnet. He already knew about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's a 4 times map, guys. Maybe it's one we need to take a look at.
No.
Maybe.
Caveman, you sound sad and lonely today. Is there anything we can help with?
No, not really.
Run a fiber internet cable to his house.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I mean that would work. Because I'm like frozen again. I can't control anything again.
I think that's one of the productions that Omatana adds is some kind of soy drink. There might be an oat drink too.
There is. It's a soy drink and an oat drink.
I thought so. Oh, I don't think Corey will be able to link anything in chat.
No, I don't think
No,
so.
he will not be. All channel owners can link stuff in chat.
You are digital all day long.
Yeah, only channel owner and admins can post links.
That's what I just said.
One of the best ways to find maps if you're on PC is to go to argsy, A-R-G-S-Y, gaming.com. ARGSYGAMING.com. And look for FS22 maps. And he's got a really cool Google map with all of the maps placed on their locations around the world. And just look at Saskatchewan and you will see that map link. Click on the map, the spot on the map where you see that, and you should find a link to download it. Oh, great, Corey. Thank you so much for doing that. Oh, Midge, I saw that. Yeah, there's a new donut factory that dropped on ModHub this week, too. That looks pretty interesting. And I've noticed that the same modder who did all of the global company, or a lot of the global company stuff in FS19 to ad production has started focusing on 22 productions and creating more of that type of stuff. And I'm seeing his stuff on ModHub now. I think his name is, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but it's something like Zacht. Obviously German in origin or somewhere in that general neck of the woods. I'm interested to see what he's got going on too. Yeah, exactly, Mystery. It's a very, very cool website.
It is definitely a cool website. There's not as many productions out as that you would expect there would be.
I would have expected people to be coming up with a lot more productions also.
I mean, because it's not... I mean, I guess it is hard creating the actual entities, but the factory itself is somewhat easy to make.
What did you download, Paul, that has no sell point? If you're talking about the Omatana productions, she included sell points. You would have to place your own for her products, but she did include them.
So I think, yeah, unless it's base game or like in the map, you have to add sell points to it.
And that's going to kind of be true no matter what productions people come with.
Mm-hmm.
There might be a way to globally add those to existing sale points.
There is. It's just not as easy as it should be.
No, fair enough. Oh, the new donut factory doesn't come with a sell point?
Huh. Well, I guess more donuts for yourself.
You better really like donuts.
I do like donuts. Mostly a Canadian version of the Boston cream.
Oh, I'm glad.
Of course, I knew it had to be something like that.
Oh, why is there a log in the middle of the field?
There's a log in the middle of the field?
Because somebody missed a log.
That's somebody's fault. It could be mine that I didn't pick it up in the trailer. But then somebody had their stump dar active, which should have picked up on that too.
My stump dar only picks up stumps. Does not pick up logs.
Mr. E was a fan of Maize Plus. I had mixed results with Maize Plus. I got to be honest with you. I used it in at least two playthroughs maybe. But I
like
found
seasoned.
certain aspects of it very frustrating.
I like the seasoned animals. Pretty good. Because seasons obviously changed animals when you added it in 19. I thought that was pretty good.
I did like a lot of the things that FS19 seasons did.
It was definitely a lot more difficult, but they did add quite a few cool features.
Well, the way grass dries, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The animal, you could switch up the animal feeds. You didn't have to because that was a kind of a sub or an add-on. Oh wait, no, that was a Maize Plus add-on. That wasn't the seasonal add-on.
That
But
was Maize Plus.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Maize Plus added the fact that they could eat grass from pastures and all that.
yeah, as long as it was in
Seasons
season.
did that too.
Did Seasons Base do that? Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Seasons did that.
Yeah.
That your pastures would give your cows grass.
And your sheep.
Yep, sheep.
Yeah, Ravensburg is where I used it primarily too, Mystery. I loved Ravensburg. That was one of my favorite maps to play. I really enjoyed that one. Mary Maines, how are you, Mary? Doing really good? Most of us
Yeah,
are
doing
anyway.
good.
Having some internet struggles for poor Caveman today, but otherwise, actually, he's kind of been. Apparently, something took down a cell tower near Caveman's house, and it really kind of threw a wrench in his works.
Yes. It did.
Yeah, Randy, I think I agree with you. I think Sharko coined it best when he said FS22 is seasons light. And I would actually say it's seasons very light.
Yeah. Nice added on. It doesn't add too much to the game, where if you're new to the game, it's not really complex. But definitely lowered the hype when I figured it out, or wasn't impressed by it.
Well, and I always said that if they're going to add seasons, they needed to make it optional. So they did do that. And I think that was important.
This goes
that's
to the
definitely
Olmo, right?
Yep. How much did we get?
115,450 liters.
Not bad. Not bad at all. There you go. There you go. Life on diet
Right.
seasons.
And I don't want to be rude or anything, guys, but I'm gonna have to get going.
Oh, yes.
It's almost 4:30.
You're right. You're right. You told us you had to scoot, and I appreciate that. Well, Sharko's done rolling this field anyway, so he can run Chaser bin.
Yep, I can do that. I don't get stuck in the tractor.
Right. So I will see everybody later.
All right, Caveman. Caveman's got to run off and do a job today, so good luck. I hope you make bunches of bucks, man.
Thank you. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right.
Bye, Caveman.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Oh yeah, soil temps and air temps and moisture. Big difference. Pipes on that side.
Now, there were aspects of 19 seasons I thought that were a bit overdone.
Oh yeah.
Now, I appreciate the simulation factor of farming sim, but I don't think we really needed to be prevented from harvesting because of soil moisture and having to do soil moisture tests. And I can see that being a thing from a day to day or a month to month thing, but and especially when you're playing by
Yeah,
months, you know,
I think a month thing would be.
in FS19 seasons, you literally. I'm gonna headland on this Sharko,
Yeah,
so you might get tight. I've got plenty of room to store if you want to hang for a minute. Um, but
that's
you
just
know,
because you guys are
having to
faster
wait
too.
until late afternoon because there was too much moisture on your crops to harvest, I think that was a little overdone on 19 seasons. It was a nice addition. They just took it a step farther than I think was necessary.
Yeah, I think it would have been good if it was a day-to-day thing or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like the idea of right after it rains you can harvest it, but then you could do it maybe like half an hour or an hour later. That makes some sense. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
no, like
that
it
would
was
be really
annoying.
hard to gauge.
Only a Sharko that has to leave, not caveman. That's true. Normally it is me that has to leave.
The candy shop, that's right. In that new donuts mod, there's a supposedly a candy shop or a sweet shop of some kind.
Ooh.
Things. Fast growth from FS19. Ah, that's a good point too. You can't change the growth speed because of seasons in this one.
I mean, you kind of can by changing the amount of months, but like if you have it like 1 day month compared to 30 or 28-day months, but
You could turn the
not.
moisture harvest issue off from within the mod if you can change XMLs. Oh, that's a fair point, Randy. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Lifehawk wants to see FS have a purist mode. As
I feel
in,
like a lot of
everything has to be absolutely realistic. 100% realism.
I feel like a lot of options should be turned off, but like easy mode, so you can like an advanced mode where you just turn off seasons and it turns off growth and all that to be just default.
Why do we
Or
have a
you go in
single
and
harvested row across here? That's weird.
it is weird. But like you can go in and go into like advanced and change a lot of settings if you want to do it.
Right, right.
Like if you wanted, like let's just say you wanted snow and all that, but you didn't want to be stuck growing corn or planting everything in the spring. You want to plant them whatever. That'd be in the advanced settings. I think it would have been a lot cooler if they did that kind of. It added more detail to seasons.
That
Yeah, just
was
different modes. Like,
one of the nice things that modders started adding to their map, and Ravensburg was one of them. You know, if you had snow in the winter, there were snow contracts for you to do.
yeah, it was nice.
Don't hit the header trailer, Sharko.
I won't.
Thank you.
I'll just wait here until you turn around.
Thank you.
Get sorted. I need to open a window. It's getting warm in my room. 70 degrees outside. I don't have an air conditioner.
70 degrees, that's Celsius, right? So that means it's like...
Fahrenheit.
Oh, 70 Fahrenheit? Okay.
21 Celsius.
That's just a nice day. Open some windows, man.
Oh, I did. I opened the window beside my computer. It's just because my room has like 2 massive windows pointing the sun. It gets very hot when the sun's beaming in.
Oh wow, Mr. E, 6 or 7 playthroughs on one map. No,
Oh, wow.
I'm a one and done. There's too many other maps to try out. In 19 there was anyway. I
Yeah.
couldn't go back. Mary, you're absolutely right, Mary. And of the 3 new crops that Giant supposedly introduced to FS22,
Oh, that was sad.
this right here is the actual only real crop. Everything else is just a placeable. I mean,
do one more
yeah,
headland?
I'll do one more headland just to give me some extra room to manage down here, because it does get awfully tight with that tree line along
That's
the
fair.
road. I mean, there is farm equipment. There's farm equipment that you do have to use to keep your grapes and olives going, but the grapes and olives, I wouldn't classify them as a crop.
They're a nice thing they like Giants added, but when they said they were adding new crops, that was just kind of sad.
When there's so much to choose from out there. I mean, good
Mhm.
lord, there's so many crops that aren't represented in this.
Or they even added production, so like they could have done more detail with easily with not necessarily grain crops, but definitely more like plantable crops and all that.
I mean, what,
Just
we've
like
got two types of root crops. How many root crops are out there that could be utilized?
oh, a lot. There's cabbage. I mean, I like red cabbage.
Well, cabbage, that's not root crops. I was just specifically because
No, that's true. That's
Mary
not.
talked about carrots. You
Oh,
know,
carrots. Yeah, carrots are one. Yeah.
that's a great one.
Yeah.
What about some flower farming?
Turnips. Flowers.
Tulips?
Yep, tulips.
You know, look at Holland. How much tulip they grow.
Hemp and all that.
Tomatoes require specialized
Tomatoes.
equipment.
Yep. I thought they do. Root beer equals best crop, life talk. I have to agree with him there.
Yeah, root beer is an awfully fine crop. I have to agree.
Ginger.
Ginger? Or if you're a fan of Clarkson Farm like I am, wasabi.
Oh, wasabi, yeah.
He tried to grow wasabi. I don't think
Yeah, well,
wasabi is something you can grow on an industrial scale, based on what I was seeing, from what he did anyway.
well, one thing I find weird is they added like sugarcane quite a while back. And they haven't added any really like main crops that are more southern.
Cotton. Cotton is cotton the
Yeah.
newest crop, or I think cotton is the newest crop.
Yeah, cotton was the newest.
Not
other
counting
than the ones
sorghum.
that. Yeah, I think cotton was the latest one because it was 19. It was very profitable.
Although to be fair, sorghum actually is becoming a much more prominent crop throughout the world.
Hmm.
And a lot of that has to do with the fact that sorghum is actually similar to corn. Um, but corn requires vast amounts of water that
Oh yeah.
sorghum doesn't. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, you can pretty much just go around this field, just keep going inwards.
Well, that's a good point, Braveheart. Um, hydroponics could
Hydroponics, yeah.
make wasabi a more industrial scale plant.
Sea-can farming is getting talked about a lot.
That's a good point too, Mr. E. Herbs.
Yeah.
The playthrough that we did on PV Uncharted for FS19 had all of those herbs in the greenhouses.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that
Uh,
wonders if Giants doesn't leave this stuff out just so that modders have the opportunity to do it for themselves.
Orchards they could have added, and I think that would have been something that they should have added.
Fruit orchards would have been a great addition. If you're going to add trees, or placeables for olives and grapes,
They added so many trees.
why not stone fruit orchards or apple orchards, cherries? That would give you the opportunity to run, tree shakers, which would be really cool, I think, if they could do it well in game, to have a tree shaker.
That, I think yeah, and I think that'd be better done in game than it would have been in a mod.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think Giant should have added that, and then people could have built on upon that mod to maybe add oranges. If they just added apples or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Eric, those are two good ones. I don't think they're as popular now as they used to be, but rutabagas and turnips, absolutely. Exactly, Mr. E. Bananas, apples, oranges, etc. And you're right, David. Almonds take huge amounts of water, which is one of the
Yeah.
reasons that Lake Mead is struggling near Las Vegas. You know, Lake Mead is the lake that was created by the Hoover Dam. And it's down 100 feet, guys. 100 feet of lost water. And that's not even volume. That's from top to bottom.
And that's around 30 meters or 33 meters.
And most of that water is going to California.
Yeah, blueberries.
Oh,
berries.
blueberries, yeah. Blueberries, raspberries. Pick your favorite berry. Blackberries.
I think a lot of them they could have added that doesn't necessarily, like, even for smaller farms, would have made some cool sense.
One of the coolest fields I've ever seen. And honestly, guys, if you ever get a chance, just Google it sometime. But look at a lavender field.
Oh.
Lavender fields in bloom are stunningly beautiful. Just stunningly beautiful. That would be an interesting crop.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you also have fish farms and all that too. Like fish, crab, oyster, or mussels.
Halle Berry. That's a good suggestion too, Midge. Rice and cranberries.
Rice, yep.
Modders have added rice and cranberries, but there's no field flooding required for them. But flooding the fields would be an interesting addition also.
Well, rice in real life kind of needs to be flooded for them to grow. Not necessarily flooded, but they need to be really damp, the ground. Not that they use a lot of water, it's just how they like growing. But I also think cranberries don't need to be flooded. I think
It just makes them easier to
harvest.
harvest, yeah.
Yeah, because they do float, and it also cleans them too.
You talking about running chaser bins, Amy? You tried to run a chaser bin with a helper. It takes practice. It really does. But once you get the hang of it, it's super simple.
Cruise control really helps too.
Cruise control does help.
Like I'm not even touching the keyboard right now, so.
And like, keep in mind that your degree heading is in your mini map. It's the first number down at the bottom. We're running 180 degrees. If you can line up your truck on the same line that the harvester is running at 180 degrees, try to aim for the spout on that line. Pull up and hit your cruise control so you match the speed of the harvester, which most harvesters run at 6 miles per hour. If you're using US units, that's 10 kilometers per hour, I believe.
I think so.
We are using a modded, or the real speed mod, which gives us the opportunity to turn up the speed of our equipment. Oh, exactly, Eric. The Colorado River, well, and I assumed way too much because, yes, the Colorado River is what feeds Lake Mead and runs through the Hoover Dam. So you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, Redship's right. Yeah, rice will grow on dry fields, but it prefers flooded or exclusively damp fields.
Sure, sure.
I think, like I said, I think it's the same with cranberries. Is it makes them a lot easier to harvest, but you can just grow them normally.
And Midge, don't quote me on this, but last I heard, the developer, the mod maker for Follow Me, does plan to bring that back. They just don't know when yet. And I can't remember what I read about if there was real life circumstances that were getting in the way, or but it wasn't going to be soon. I do know that. But yeah, Follow Me was super helpful for PC players at least. Some type of fish farming would be interesting too. You're right about that, Mr. E. I mean, if you can farm shrimp, you can farm other types of fish, right?
Oh yeah. But you have like the actual fish farms though that are like in fields and not just out in the ocean. So definitely something that farmers could use, or in farm, or something like 22 could do.
Amy, that's the curse of the helpers in Farm Sim. They're still not the best, but we do what we can with what we have, I suppose. That's another nice, and I have not tried it yet. I need to. I need to break out both auto drive and the new version of Course Play and see how well they're doing on Farm Sim 22. I've been hearing good things about them. I think they've been worked on long enough now. They should be reasonably stable. And that's the only reason I haven't given them a shot. But Course Play is a brilliant helper when it comes to harvesting fields and whatnot. It really does a great job.
At least not rectangular fields. It excels in. Like if it's all misshaped and everything, does pretty good in those fields.
Shrimp farming is known as pisciculture. Pisciculture. That's interesting because fish farming is aquaculture. Maybe crustaceans qualify as something different, so it can't be aquaculture unless it's an actual fish.
That makes sense.
That's a good point too, Mystery. If you run some headlands on your fields, that usually helps the workers do a better job. Especially if you can square off your fields. If you've got an odd-shaped field, but you square off the rounded bits, so that the helpers have a definitive line to stop at, they do a better job in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the RTK. So yeah, precision farming did come with RTK buildings in the last version. So I'm not surprised to hear they're in there again.
I don't think they make them faster. I just pretty sure they make them
More accurate.
more accurate and spray and all that when they're supposed to.
Oh, okay.
Like the ones that have automated as well. I mean, I might be wrong, but
I can't say because I haven't played with
that's
precision
exactly what it was
farming
supposed
yet.
to be for.
Right.
They were meant for literally just making them more optimized. They had to spray properly and all that. If they didn't, they would just spray at one rate, the whole sprayer. So
I think we just saved.
I think so too.
How much sorghum have we got in that thing?
163,000
Wow, this field's really producing.
is. I figured I'd keep it in the trailer.
If we merge these fields and put oats in the whole thing, that's going to be a lot of oats and a ridiculous amount of straw. That should pay off really well, actually.
It will pay for its field, I think, multiple times over. I think there was, Eric, some maps that did add some type of fish farming.
Yeah,
Shit.
I know I've seen maps that have fish farming built in. I want to
Actually,
say it was the Reacheville maps, maybe, or something similar to those.
the one we had for our championships or whatever you want to call it. I don't remember the name.
Oh, for the
Um,
farming face-off.
Face Off, yeah. Um, didn't have them built in, but were built for them. Had like a spot for the fish farms to be put. I do remember that.
Okay. That would be interesting, Lifehawk, if somehow they were to incorporate um, irrigation. Some type of
Oh,
irrigation.
Well, I think watering. I feel like that's something that's not included that they should add.
That's known as irrigation.
Irrigation, yeah, but I
Shortcut.
meant like actual plant sprayers can use water is what I mean.
What kind of sprayers?
Well, you can use like water spray or fertilizer sprayers to spray water.
Go watch Clarkson's farm sometime and see how that worked out for him. You cannot carry enough water to fully irrigate a field of crop. It takes hundreds of thousands of gallons of water.
That makes sense. Explains why there's always those crawlers.
And you've got irrigation, like walking irrigation lines, central pivots that are usually hooked up to some kind of a well or pumping water from a river. Pivots are probably the most common thing that people would associate with irrigation on farms.
Actually, there's a cool thing that I see up here that's very cool actually. It's for all like our orchards. Not orchards, but like I guess they're orchards, like the apple orchards for wine and all that. 'Cause they're small apple trees, they're not the big ones. Each one of them has a well, and it's like a massive sprayer that just sprays it in a circle.
Okay.
It's like it's center column, like it's a center tower, and it just shoots the water around in a big circle. But it's like it runs off a well in itself.
It sounds like a modified pivot to me.
It does, but it doesn't swivel. So you'd have like 20 or like 30 of them in a field. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to put it in a dry area. It'd have to be in a wet area.
Right.
Yeah, that's something I've seen. It's really cool.
Yep,
And they just test the groundwater themselves.
that's what I'm talking about, mystery. Those walking. They're like it's almost like a pipe in a long line, and there's these big wheels on the pipe. But the wheels are the actual irrigation function, or no, maybe it's a drip line. I don't know. I've never the central pivots are massive
Oh yeah.
though, and they've got a huge boom that sticks out that's on wheels, and they will irrigate as they circle around the field. If you've ever been on an aircraft and you look down and you see round fields, you know that's a field that has a pivot that's watering it. And exactly, Randy. I mean, I'm not even a real farmer, and I know how much water it would take to fully water a field. I mean, this size, just the hundreds of thousands of gallons of water. You could be running water day, night, and still never keep your crops growing.
Especially corn.
Oh gosh, excuse me, guys. I'm sorry about that.
I was gonna say, even up here in Canada where it constantly rains, corn doesn't even have enough water. You've seen some fields where like there's a little creek that runs through fields. The corn grows way taller because it can just guzzle water.
Well, that's true,
Ridiculous.
but in the Midwest and central states, they grow corn without any type of irrigation, no problem.
I mean, you can. It's just corn though. Like to keep corn growing requires tons and tons of water.
Now, here's an interesting thing that I discovered recently is that I can't remember what it's called. I'd have to look it up. But there's actual um, versions of corn that, and they do this deliberately, whether it's through genetic engineering or whatever, I don't know, but um, these corn plants actually gauge the amount of water that's available to them and adjust their ear size appropriately. It was pretty cool when I was hearing about this, and I was like, so if you're in a wet year, you're going to have some really big fat ears of corn. If you're in a dry year, now it seems kind of, yeah, a plant's not going to grow as well, but it seems like these plants are going to grow no matter what, but they're just going to adjust their ears, the ears of corn that they're producing, depending on how much water is available. Or maybe that's a farmer's joke for a non-farmer to sucker them into believing some crap that's not true. But the people telling me sounded very genuine. Maybe they just got a good one off on Harv, and I just fed it to you guys. It's a very real possibility.
It is very possible.
Exactly, Midge. I mean, you don't grow anything here where I live without some type of irrigation. There are plenty of pivots in Nevada.
First time I saw one was down in the States.
We better get this field harvested pretty soon because we've got rain coming.
Rain coming.
Yes, Bob. Rain is imminent.
"4 hours we have in game."
Oh, before the rain comes?
Yeah.
We're okay then. We've only got about 2 more passes.
So we're fine for right now.
3
at that's what the game's
2
saying.
and a partial at most.
Game's saying it's 4 hours away for rain.
Where are we at for volume on that sorghum now?
234,000.
That trailer alone is enough to fill the flour mill almost.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice picture.
Oh, of us harvesting?
Yeah.
There, I just screenshotted it. Especially for you.
Well, I got a nice picture of like the harvester going through the field just above crop height. So,
Oh, you got one.
yeah,
Oh, well, make sure you post that on the Discord.
we'll have to.
That is a brilliant statistic, Midge. 27,000 plus gallons of water to irrigate 1 acre of land with an inch of water.
Wow. That's not and most plant or crops need a lot more than that.
Yep. In fact, so when you live in a community that's dependent on irrigation, obviously water rights are a big deal. They're huge here in Nevada. If you don't have water rights of some kind, you don't have a farm. And that water is always measured in, oh, what was it called? Something like acre feet, or, you know, enough to provide X amount of water over an acre for a given amount of time. It's a calculation. But your water rights are determined by how much you can. Hang on, Sharko, that was my bad. I got kicked down just a smidge. Me. If someone were so inclined to Google that, I'm sure we'd be interested.
Mm-hmm. No, you know what's actually one thing that'd also be cool? I mean, it's pretty similar to sugarcane, but bamboo productions.
That could be interesting. Very similar to forestry productions.
Forestry and sugarcane put together. But the harvesters could be a lot different, though. I'm pretty sure, at least for bamboo, harvesters are different.
Alright, there we go. All of our fields are harvested, leading into fall. And we'll have to decide what we're going to put in these bad boys.
And 250,000 liters of sorghum.
I'm pretty sure it was acre feet. So for if I had water rights to 80 acre feet of water, that means that I could put 1 foot of water over 80 acres. And that would be how much water I was provided by those water rights. So obviously you don't want to put 1 foot of water over 80 acres. You want to stretch that out. So realistically, for a growing season, you might, 80 acre feet of water, let's say you needed to water at least 4 times. That's going to, work out to you've got enough water to do 20 acres or something along those lines. I think everybody gets the gist of it.
Flour mill, right?
Yep, flour mill. Xander Williams, welcome to the stream, and this map is called Hobo's Hollow. Just like the thumbnail says. And it's really big fields. You want really big equipment if you're going to try this one. Break out the mods, brother.
Oh my. 1,000 liters short.
Oh, of being full or being able to empty in?
Yeah, I have 1,129 liters left. Park the truck there.
Well, Caveman did tip another field load earlier, so.
It's true.
Alright, guys. We got her done. We got a new field. We got some chickens. We got our trees cleared out. Made a bunch of money off of the lumber, the timber. Got some new equipment. We got our fields harvested. It's been a busy day on Harv's World, and it's been fantastic visiting with all of you again. We missed it last week because of our hosting service for our server, but it can't be helped. Oh, look at that. USDA Census of Agriculture water highlights. 83.4 million acre feet of water over 55.9 million acres on 231.4 thousand farms. Xander, yes, it is a PC only map. It's a 4x map. And unfortunately, larger than 1x maps have not been developed for console yet. With that said, guys, I think that's going to do it for this week. Again, it's been fantastic hanging out with y'all. Sharko, any final parting thoughts or words?
See you next Sunday.
Next Sunday, for sure, we will be here. Assuming nothing screws us up.
Yep.
Alright, guys, as always, we very much appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time, take care.